What it do, y'all, is your partner. And you see it. I do look good. You see that thing. Take the picture for your mom and them. But y'all know what time it is. It is that counter move time, guys. You're trying to make sure everything works well, guys. Trying to make sure all signals work well. Here we go, guys. Let's get into this thing. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Where we are here to help entrepreneurs either start business or grow your already existing business. I'm here with an entrepreneur guru, my friend Liddell.
Typically, tangible assets hold their value versus non-tangible assets. I'm not against stocks at all, period. I just like for my money to be backed by something that's tangible, physical, that I can go see it and feel it's mine.
What it do, y'all? It's your partner. And we up in this thing, man. We trying to get it in with the people. And today, guys, we're going to go right in a little bit into the subject that's been a very talked about subject in the last 24 to 48 hours. It is concerning student loan forgiveness. And I thought it'd be wise for us to kind of lean in and talk about it a little bit. Now, let me preface this. This discussion tends to go very political quickly. And this is not what's going to be for this discussion. This is going to be strictly financial as well as literate solutions. So if you want to debate, this ain't the one for you. Okay, you can go somewhere else and debate and get entertained that way. If you want to grow and lean in, and so we can reason together, and if you wants to come on and talk with me about it, that's fine. I am opening this up, most likely for the first time on the counter move, for us to begin to kind of reason together. So let's go in and see what we're talking about. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about student loan forgiveness. And I thought it would be wise for us to look at what the president actually said and listen to his very words itself. So here we go, guys. Let's go and listen to what the president said concerning student loan forgiveness. Okay, here we go.
First, we've made incredible progress advancing America's economic recovery. We've wound down pandemic relief programs like the ones on unemployment insurance and small businesses. It's time we do the same thing for student loans. Student loan payments pause is going to end. It's going to end December 30. I'm extending to December 31st, 2022, and it's going to end at that time. It's time for the payments to resume. Second, my campaign for president, I made a commitment that would provide student debt relief, and I'm honoring that commitment today. Using the authority Congress granted the Department of Education, we will forgive $10,000 in outstanding federal student loans. In addition, students who come from low-income families, which allowed them to qualify to receive a Pell Grant, will have their debt reduced $20,000. Both of these targeted actions are for families who need it the most. Working and middle-class people hit especially hard during the pandemic, making under $125,000 a year. If you make more than that, you don't qualify.
Okay, let's stop right there, guys. Let's stop right there. Let's kind of unpack that a little bit. And what I want to do is I wanted to bring up exactly what he talked about concerning this. Again, want to be fair and just give all the facts. So let's walk through this so that we're not misinterpreting anything at all. Okay, let me get to it. Let's go ahead and share it, guys. It's very simple. This is actually on CSNBC. So if you know where I'm at, all right, guys. This is the direct tweet from President Biden. I'll make it bigger for people who can actually see it a little bit. Okay, all right. It says the Biden administration's student loan debt plan. He said, okay, he's forgiving debt. $20,000 if you went to college on Pell Grants. Okay, $10,000 if you didn't receive Pell Grants. Okay, and forgiveness only applies to those that earn less than $125,000. You heard him say that at his press conference. Okay, student loan pause extended one final time through December 31st, 2022. Okay, and also it says payment based on income. Okay, so if you have undergraduate loans, okay, you can cap repayment at 5% of your monthly income. Okay, so this is what President Biden is actually proposing. Okay, Very simple, straightforward, to the point. How you doing, Alex, man? Good to see you, big time. Now let's keep moving, okay? Let's address the elephant in the room, okay? Was this a political move? Answer: yes. This was a political move, but it was a portion of his campaign promise as well. He said this on the campaign trail. He didn't go as farther as I believe he said on the campaign trail, but this is what he said on the campaign trail. So he's really trying to fulfill what he actually said. So this is a political move. Will it work? Don't know. We're going to see if it does. But let's get the elephant out of the room. This was a political move. Very simple. All right, guys. Now, how does this move help Americans? Now, you know how I operate. I'm actually a person that I am a terms and definitions guy. And for me, I thought it would be wise for us to go right to the numbers themselves, because I was hearing arguments on both sides. You have some saying this is terrible, this is bad for individuals that have actually paid for their student loans and things of that nature, that worked hard to get it done. And I can understand the reasoning on that side. You have arguments on the other side saying this here is, hey, this argument that's never brought up when it comes to military funding, things of that nature, and there's some logic there as well. But also the main stuff that was communicated to me was this here. It was, hey, this is going to give me some relief, so I can begin to build something. So I said, okay, let's look at it a little bit more. So let's go right to the numbers, guys. Right to the numbers. All right, here we go. Guys, I'm gonna make it a little bigger for everybody so everybody can see what's going down. I don't want nobody to tell me they can't see. All right. So we are on Lending Tree. This is a student loan calculator. And what I'm doing is I'm using something very simple, $30,000. Okay. And I'm using a 5% interest rate. Okay. Real simple and basic. Okay. So if you look at a $30,000 loan balance right here, then it's 5% average interest rate. And I put a 30-year term because typically student loans, kind of like mortgages, a lot of them have a 30-year term. Okay, no problem. Let's calculate it. This lets us know that the monthly payment for a $30,000 loan at 5% interest rate is $161 a month. Okay, and you're paying a total interest of $27,977. So in other words, in addition to the $30,000, you're paying an additional $27,977 in interest. So total payback there is $57,977. Very simple math, right? Very simple math. All right. Now let's go. Let's use the same calculations that President Biden said he's going to do. $10,000. Okay. So let's go ahead and deduct this to $20,000. Okay, $20,000. Let's just keep the same term, 30-year term. Same rate, 5%. Okay, let's calculate it. Now what's happening, it goes to, the month payment goes down to $107 per month. Okay, $107 a month. Okay, and the interest payment goes from $27,000 down to $18,651. Okay, so total interest that you're paying is $38,651. So total payment that you're paying back is $38,651. Very simple and concise. All right. So let's look at the numbers. Let's go ahead and see the savings. Okay. I want to be fair. I want to be fair. Okay. So let's go here. Boom. Let's pull up the calculator. Boom. Yeah, I can do that. It's me. All right, here we go, guys. Remember, we actually said that the total monthly payment was $161, which was the initial one at $30,000 at 5%, 30-year term. We decreased it down $10,000. So now you owe $20,000, 5% term, 5% interest rate, 30-year term. Simple. So 161 minus the 107. Okay, that's $54 a month that the people are now saving for doing this. Okay, they say $54 a month. All right. So in some households that's huge. All right, $54 times 12. All right. That's it. They save $648 annually. Okay. In some houses, this is a big deal. Okay. But that's money that can go somewhere else. Okay. Not a problem. Now let's look at the annual. Remember, we said that The interest that they were paying was $27,977. All right, that was the interest that they were paying. Okay, then remember, minus now they're paying 18,651. This is after the 20,000, the 30,000 decrease to 20,000. All right, so they're saving $9,326. Okay, of interest. That's a big savings for a lot of individuals when it comes to something like this as well. All right, so I want to be fair there. So there is some alleviation there with this move. Okay, from a monthly standpoint, an annual standpoint, and an interest standpoint. I gotta be fair. Let me say it again before we didn't hear it. There is a savings immediately for individuals from a monthly standpoint, an annual standpoint, as well as a decreased interest standpoint. Very simple. All right, guys. So, what's your counter move? So now that you got the savings now, got some savings now. Okay, got savings now. What are you gonna do with it? What you gonna do now? You got an extra $648 annually, according to this example. Okay, you're saving over $9,000 in interest. Or you're going to go out and buy more liabilities, or you're going to begin investing in yourself. How are you going to use this moment to catapult you, your children, and your children's children to that next level? Okay, most Americans go out there, and I know $54 a month is in some cases not a lot of money, but in some cases it is some money. Okay, how are you going to reinvest into yourself to position you to be in a better situation next year, 5 years, 10 years from now? What is going to be your counter move? What are you going to do? Okay. If the answer is go out and buy more liabilities, stop complaining. Because now you are willfully being a bad steward of finances, and you have to reap the consequences of that decision making. Does that make some sense, guys? So again, the counter move is, what can you do? I would say one thing you can do is begin investing in yourself, begin reading more books. Okay. Look at about starting a business of some sort. I'm a big fan of real estate, and I'm gonna say it, network marketing. Network marketing is a great business model for low investment, and it teaches you business skills. Business skills is what generates money. Okay. Once you increase the business skills, money begins to flow in because you're presenting value. It's very simple. So the question is, what are you gonna do now? It's on you. Very simple. All right, guys. Now, I gotta be fair. Now we have to go to the other side, guys. I gotta go to that side now. Does the debt truly vanish? Now, I wanted to come here because I'm a terms and definitions guy. Okay. When I hear the word forgiveness of debt, okay, a wiping away of debt, okay, my mind goes into because I'm an investor by trade. I go into an investment mode. Okay, so my question is, what happens to the debt itself? Does it truly vanish? Well, instead of me telling you that question, I thought it'd be wise, guys, for us to revisit very quickly how money is created. Very simple. It's going to be a very quick video, a quick recap. And I want you guys to listen to Mike Maloney. This is my dude. I know what I'm talking about. And listen to what he says. Listen very clearly to how money is made. Please listen. All right, here we go.
So let's do a recap and break it down even more. The way the system works is that step 1, the government creates glorified IOUs. These bonds increase our national debt and put the public on the hook to pay it back. Step 2, IOUs are swapped to create currency. The Treasury sells the bonds to the banks. The banks then turn around and sell our national debt at a profit to the Federal Reserve, which they probably own. The Federal Reserve then opens its checkbook that doesn't have a penny in it and buys those IOUs with IOUs that it writes, checks, on a checking account that has a zero balance. Then they give those checks to the banks and currency just springs into existence, and then the whole process repeats. This results in a buildup of bonds at the Federal Reserve and currency at the Treasury, which is really just a supply of numbers. The Treasury then deposits the numbers in the various branches of the government, and we get to step 3, The government spends the numbers on promises, public works, social programs, and war. Then the government employees, contractors, and soldiers deposit their pay into the banks, and we get to step 4, where the banks multiply the numbers by magically inventing more IOUs through fractional reserve lending, where they steal a portion of everyone's deposit and lend it out. That currency gets redeposited, and then a portion is stolen again, and the process repeats over and over, magnifying the currency supply exponentially. Then we work for some of those numbers, which brings us to step 5, where our numbers are taxed. We pay tax to the IRS, who then turns our numbers over to the Treasury, so the Treasury can pay the principal plus the interest on bonds that were purchased by the Federal Reserve with a check from nothing. Then we get to step 6, the debt ceiling delusion. The system is designed to require ever-increasing levels of debt and will eventually collapse under its own weight because politicians always kick the can down the road. They don't want it to collapse on their watch. And finally, step 7, the secret owners take their cut. The world's largest banks own the Federal Reserve. Those banks make a profit selling our national debt to the Fed. They make a profit when the Fed pays them interest on the reserves held at the Fed, and the Fed pays them a 6% dividend on their ownership of the Fed. This system is fundamentally evil. It funnels wealth.
All right, guys, that's my guy, Mike Maloney. Very simple. If you want to know if you want to see that in entirety, just go to YouTube and go to Hidden Secrets of Money, Mike Maloney, and you'll be able to see the entire film. It's about 30 minutes. You'll learn a bunch about how the system is actually operates. Now, here's my thing here is, so the answer to the question, does the debt truly vanish? The answer is no. It's not at all. So if that's the case, what happens to the debt? Well, before I answer that question, how is money made again? Very simple. The Federal Reserve creates a bond. It's called a glorified IOU. Very simple. Okay. Then they take that bond over to the Treasury, and the Treasury writes a check to purchase that bond with money that has nothing in it, with the check that has from a bank account that has no money in it. Extremely simple. All right. That's all they do. And then all of a sudden, money is created out of thin air. Presto. That's it. So what's there? The debt is still there because the debt is the bond. Remember, we have 10-year bonds. Bonds are normally 10 years. It's simple. The debt is still there. So what did the government do with that money? Very simple. All they did was they took that bond, which is the student loan is really a bond. It's what it is. And then they took that asset and put it over on their balance sheet as a non-performing asset. The debt is still there. Someone still has to pay it back. So did it vanish? No. Debt is still there because money is created via debt. It's very simple. That's why there's debt attached to the bond. It's not hard to understand, guys. Okay. Now, so does this move help Americans generationally? The answer is no. You don't believe me? Let me go ahead and show you the numbers, guys. You know, I'm about them numbers. Right now, we're going to go over to a place, and this is called usdebtclock.org. Very simple place, guys. This is where you can see how the debt is working. Okay, we're going to walk through certain numbers, very cute, simple. I know it does a lot of numbers here. I'll make it very simple. Okay, all right. The national debt is $30.736 trillion. Okay, that's with a T. All right, let's go over here. The U.S. federal tax revenue is $4.438 trillion. Okay, so debt 30 trillion. We're bringing in 4.4 trillion. All right, let's go over here. The U.S. federal spending is the official number, $5.942 trillion. Okay, let me say that again for the folk in the back row. $5.942 trillion. So we are bringing in revenue of 4.438 trillion, and we are spending 5.942 trillion. Huh? So we are spending more than we are receiving. And this $300 billion he's talking about, when it comes to that debt, it's still there. Because why? There's an interest rate attached to the debt, which is attached to a bond. It's extremely simple. So yes, from a temporary standpoint, some people may get some type of temporary help there when it comes to monthly payments, but the debt is still there. So your kids, and your kids are going to be paying back this debt. Simple. The debt is still there. It has not gone anywhere. So he didn't cancel anything. It's there still. It's not hard to understand, guys. All right. So let's see. Anything else we want to talk about? Not at all. Period. So all I can tell you this here. Let me come back to me real fast. Come back to me real fast, guys. All right. All I can tell you is this here. No bank, no investor, no private equity investor, venture capital investor would ever invest in a model like this. Why? Because you are spending more than you are making. And also, let me go back to it real fast. Thank you. We'll go back to it real fast. Sorry, guys. We'll go back to it. And there's one more thing that I want you guys to kind of see as well. You hear a lot of talk about the GDP, or the gross domestic product. Okay. Look at this here. The U.S. gross domestic product is $24.814 trillion. All right. The U.S. debt is $30.736 trillion. So our gross domestic product is smaller than our debt. It's not a good sign at all. No bank on the planet, no investor on the planet, no matter if they're a venture capital company or a private equity company or any investor, mom and pop investor, would ever invest in a model like that. My question is, would you? I know I wouldn't at all. So to answer the question, someone has to pay the bill, because the debt was not erased at all. It still exists. And that is bad stewardship. That is terrible financial stewardship. That type of spending will not work. That's why we have something called deficit spending. The key word to deficit is deficient, which means not enough. So we don't have enough to even do this at all. Doesn't make any sense. Now, you may hear a lot of verbiage as well talking about, hey, tax the rich, tax the billionaires. Then you'll make the money. Let's walk through those numbers. Again, we're talking about math, okay? I posted a video today about this as well. We have 720 billionaires in the U.S. 720, okay? Now, the combined net worth of them is $4.7 trillion. That would do nothing for what we just saw. Nothing. If you tax them at 100%, if you take all their money, it does nothing at all. So that tax the rich is just a talking point, because it does nothing at all. I don't think it even covers the debt payment. Come on, guys, math. We are writing hot checks. You're right, Big Cap Park on Instagram. We are writing hot checks, bad checks. They're literally borrowing from the future to fund the government and all of these social programs. We don't have enough money to do this, guys. There's no money there. There's no money there. None. I'll end it with this. Let me see if I can find. If you don't believe me, not a problem. You know, I always bring receipts. I always bring receipts, guys. Let us go to my channel very quickly here, and there is I actually did a video of the Federal Reserve Chairman himself talking about how money is made. So you may be thinking, Liddell, you're making this up. No problem. I got the receipts. Don't you worry. I got the receipts. Let me get to it, guys. Here we go. All right, let me get over here. As you can see my screen real quickly here. Boom. All right. Y'all can see all my videos. Here we go, guys. Let's listen to what the Fed chairman is saying.
Flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally. And we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities. And that actually increases the money supply. We also print actual currency and we distribute that through the Federal Reserve Bank.
That's it, guys. That's it. That is it, guys. You heard it directly from the Federal Reserve Chairman himself. What he just described is exactly what Mike Maloney described in that video. Just printed it. And he described to you about buying of bonds and then the treasury and checks, and it's all there. That's directly out of the current Federal Reserve Chairman's mouth. We're writing hot checks. You don't have the money for this. The debt is still there. It's going nowhere. You just kick the can down the road, and now your kids are going to pay for this. And it's going to be inflated more because you have too much currency flowing to too few goods. That's the definition of inflation. So to kind of end my little soapbox moment for a second, yeah, you may get some temporary gain. That's cool. But have you factored in the cost for getting that? And also, are you making the right moves to position yourself to catapult you and your family to a different stratosphere? So what is your counter move? There's no information. Very simple. You better begin a side hustle. It's time to turn your side hustle into a bona fide business, scale your business, and then turn it into an enterprise. And it better be in a service or in a place to where it is needed. People actually need your product or service. If you don't know how to get that started, you're welcome to contact me or anyone else or someone that you may know that actually have wise counsel. It is time for you to create a side hustle and turn it into an enterprise, because inflation, guys, is here to stay. It's going nowhere. I'm a policies person. Policies is what's driving this. It's very simple. So if you got some temporary alleviation from 10,000 being shaved off, hey, okay, cool. No problem with it at all. What are you doing to catapult your family to the next stratosphere? If the answer is nothing, stop complaining. Matter of fact, I always say this when I'm doing this Instagram Live, I'll see you at the auction and I'm probably buying your house. Okay? It's very simple. Guys, that's all I had for today on the counter move, guys. Man, thank you so much for your time. I hope I gave you guys some value. I wanted to kind of dive into the student to the student loan situation so that you guys can. I didn't want to go into some type of debate at all. I don't want it to be all political. I want it to be just strictly facts and math. That's it. And at the end, give solutions for both sides of the argument. That's it. So, guys, thank you for your time. God bless you. I pray I gave you guys some value. If anyone wants to DM me, talk to me, I wouldn't say debate me at all, because it's a simple math. If you need some wise counsel on what your next step is, holler at us. And we see you guys tomorrow for that Real Estate Live training tomorrow. We do every Friday at 5 p.m. We do a real estate live training. Me and Cliff. We go over specific strategies in real estate, how you can actually turn real estate from you can take real estate as a side hustle, turn it into a business, scale it to where it's an enterprise for you and your family. God bless you. Yeah, God, you guys have a good night, guys, and we'll see you next time. Holla at your partner. But before you leave, take the picture and give it to your mama and them. Now holla at your partner. Vision. You hear this word mentioned when individuals are looking for solutions to life's challenges. But let's go a little bit deeper. Let's unpack this a little bit more. Let's define the word vision. The dictionary defines the word vision as the ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. Now, in a crisis, individuals go through a myriad of emotions: hopelessness, fear, and anxiety, just to name a few. This is the part I want you to really focus on. Sharpening your vision is a life principle that you can apply today to begin solving your problems and resolving these emotions. So the question that you have to answer today is, do you have a vision? Answering this question can immediately change your life.